Beep.
Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. It's Thursday. It's on the 904 Now Network. We get the honor of kicking off the weekend. Woo-hoo! This is Weekend Eve. We're all excited about this. We're thrilled to be here. We're glad you're here with us. And we have a great show for you. I have no idea what some of these guests are going to talk about, but I rarely do. But that's okay. We might even talk stock tips from one of our guests.
Sell! Buy real estate!
Get cash.
Blake is going to let us know what size mason jar he uses to keep his cash safe.
It's so easy to bury.
The problem is
downtown.
A 2 ounce.
the problem is Troy's yard is so small. There's just not enough room for anything in there. All right.
Chili wants to dig it up.
Definitely not enough for your money.
I'm going to agree with that.
There's plenty for mine.
Only because it makes fun of you will I agree with that. But yes. All right. Solomon Services. It's the premier place in St. Augustine for personal training. They've got both youth and adult personal training classes. They've got small screws. Small screws. Small screws. Very small screws there. You got to put them in and out. No. Small group strength and fitness development, speed and agility development, which we need in here mentally. Sports injury-related training. If you've been injured, they can help you get back on the field or the court in better shape. They do all of this in their state-of-the-art center with both indoor and outdoor turf areas, and all of their coaches are certified through the National Strength and Conditioning Association. Give them a call today, 904-461-9945, or visit their website, solomonservices.com.
Absolutely. These neighborhood diners are more than just a place to eat. They are where hospitality blooms and friends gather. Bring your own or make new ones. The coffee is always hot, the smiles are genuine, and the food tastes like home. Every meal is a chance to make memories, share stories, and create bonds that last a lifetime. It's not just about the food on the plate, but the community that comes together at the table. Come see us, Moultrie Creek Diners or Anastasia Diner. Tell them Andy sent you. Established in 2006, Solar Stick is a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing.
In Land Title of America, whether you realize it or not, when you refinance the sale or purchase of a home, there's a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town title company who doesn't give a crap when you're faced with challenges. Stay local. Choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins, 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time because
They give a crap.
Yay! Look, everybody's getting
You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. All right, we have a lot of updates through the Bozard Fort Community Update.
Yes.
So Bozard Fort Community Update page has the following, Amanda.
Oh, there's lots. You're going to send it to me? I have to say all of them?
Well,
Okay.
I'll do the first one. Task Force Hydro 1 has an event coming up on May the 3rd, May the 6th, May the 3rd?
May the 3rd, I believe. Yes,
May the 3rd. And so you can go, Amanda's got the link on our site. You can go check it out. It's from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's kayak paddle from Aunt Kate's or Caps area up to the Mayport Poles. It's out in the open ocean. So Troy, if you've ever wanted to kayak like a Hawaiian, you can for a minute or two.
It depends which way what time of day it is, which way the current's going.
Yep.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m., irregardless of the current, these guys are tough.
Yep.
They're tough. It's open.
Well, it's regardless of which way that tide's going, it's whether or not I would join.
Well, I would look more at the wind than the tide for you.
Yeah.
So that's going on.
They're looking for support boats
I take
and
an
support
outrigger.
boat captains.
Yeah, if you want to be a support boat captain, because they trade people in and out of the kayak as they go. When you get tired, you jump out. Somebody else jumps off the boat and jumps in. And then we have Epic. Had an epic day yesterday at Tallahassee, their legislative day. And our good friend and often guest Teresa was up there, and she's got
amazing.
pictures. Yes, with Representative Greco and Representative Kendall, who both represent St. Johns County. So congratulations to Epic and Teresa.
We
We're
love
going
you, Teresa.
to
Good
lobby
job.
for the money to help people.
Absolutely.
That's what you got to do.
We love you. We love the work that you're doing, and I'm glad you got recognized. That's amazing. Good job.
And then also Jimmy Jam. Tim
Jimmy
chimed
Jam.
in yesterday. There's an event going on. Amanda's going to put that contact up, and I think she did a post of it yesterday.
I put it in the comments yesterday. Task Force Hydra 1 got a post. I can do a post for Jimmy Jam today if you want.
That would be awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you
Will
take
do.
care of that, that would be absolutely amazing.
Do not get drinks banned in this studio, sir.
Wow.
Get drinks
This is
banned.
why we can't have nice things. This really is.
And you guys know I rarely go without a lid, a sippy cup. I'm usually a sippy cup guy,
Yep.
like you're a sippy cup guy over there.
I-
Because
but-
at the radio station, we weren't allowed to have just open drinks.
Yeah.
We
I
sippy
had
cup.
open drinks all the time.
And that's the reason we weren't allowed.
I never spilled the drink. That never caused a problem at the radio show. Unplugging and plugging something back in, however, can cause a major issue at a radio station.
Yep. So
Also, asking a candidate when they're going to become a presidential candidate. Those
Could be
are
a
two
problem.
things I learned from the radio station. I learned
all right,
that.
like the one thing you don't ask, and first thing is right out of his mouth.
I
First
just
thing.
wanted to see if he was serious
get the
about
scoop.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Rebecca, thank you very much for the comment. I did go to Price's Barbershop and get a haircut today, so my ears got lowered. Mike Price did a great job with what he had to work with. I was a little disappointed, though. I know this is not something
Man.
that you gentlemen have to worry about, but I looked down on the bib, and all the brown hair was there. And I looked back and I said, I told you to get rid of the gray. He said, oh, I kind of messed that up for you. You're just going to have the gray left. I got rid of it.
reverse.
I was like, Mike, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. All right. And then Blake Moore developed not Blake Moore. I was looking at Levi Moore. Blake Blevins has developed a sense of humor. And the meme he sent out today was awesome. It has everything to do with basketball. Amanda, that's a sport that's going on right now.
Sports ball.
Sports ball, yes. It's an
The
orange,
orange sports ball.
Yes, the orange sports ball. And the last time, Blake, tell the story. You sent the meme.
Yeah, so I saw off the college football, the college basketball subreddits, and realized, okay, we have all #1 seeds in the Final Four this year, and then we have the tariffs and the market's reaction to said tariffs. So we have two #2. Two times in my lifetime, all on #1 seeds in the Final Four, and then a recession.
Another recession. This is your second
heard-
recession.
I heard basketball kills the stock market. That's what I just heard.
So we should ban basketball so that the stock market can come
College
back.
basketball.
College basketball's over.
Believe it.
Because the last time was like 2008, right?
Yeah, 2008.
Oh, that was a good year.
bust.
I honestly feel like I'm the little guy in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now, putting dots on a wall and drawing lines, and
Yeah.
Blake's over here helping me.
We
And
need
yeah,
to buy more yarn.
we need more yarn for him.
Sylvia.
Yes. So the next, if anytime you see all of the teams are going to hit, sell. That happens over the weekend. So Monday, come in and sell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened twice. You know it's going to happen again.
Yeah, 2008 was, I mean, thank goodness I worked for the county at that time.
I just have two words for you. Screw you.
Exactly. My salary wasn't affected. That's what
Man, that was a rough year.
That's what I love about government people telling us about our economy.
Yeah, it was a
So,
really rough.
Yeah.
We were financially requiring restaurants to be a strong business at that point in our marriage, and I was pregnant with a baby, so that was good times.
Good times. I was probably working at one of your restaurants.
Probably.
I can afford to go to one of your restaurants.
Nobody could. That was the problem.
All right, so today I inadvertently ran into my longtime lunch partner of 30-some years, Troy Blevins. We both got out of the car at the same time at Taco Libre because what day is today?
Today is National Burrito Day.
So I did not know that. Troy did. But then last week I knew that it was National Whiskey Day and he didn't. So I feel
Because you're lush.
No, because you missed it and you're pissed.
I probably celebrated and didn't even know.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I did. And I knew. So we get out of the cars and Rebecca and Maeve were with him. And, awesome to see the two of them again. And Maeve is just the cutest, smartest young girl
She's
I have ever
amazing.
seen. And I asked her, well, what's it like going to lunch with Troy? And she said, he's fine as long as I bring this coloring book.
Yeah.
And there's the coloring book. Maeve always has a coloring
go.
book, so Troy has something to do at lunch.
So she doesn't have
that
to talk to me.
So she didn't have to talk to him. She and Rebecca can talk and enjoy lunch. And that was
Life hacks.
awesome.
All I need to do to win trivia is just bring a coloring book.
Easily distracted. I'm going to need a different color. All I have is the black.
Do they make Playboy adult coloring books? I can totally do this before we have. I can make this happen.
Yeah.
First of all, Blake would hurt him getting the book. I don't think Troy can take Blake in that.
That would be a waste of time. Because I write with my right hand.
No.
Blake would be like, I've already seen them on OnlyFans.
Hey, you took us there.
Yeah, I know.
And that was all you.
I didn't take us there.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Because I clearly didn't get it for the articles.
No. The pages will be stuck together anyway.
Oh, now it's too far.
He gets to color 2 pictures, the front and the back. Everything else is stuck together. Well, so I thought about that because it's a Barbie coloring book, and I was like, must have liked the scenery.
Yeah, and there was a minor meltdown leaving the house because the coloring book had a little tear in it. We were finding the Scotch tape, and it was.
What did they give you to calm you down?
Whiskey.
Oh man! All right, so we've been doing kind of like the dumbest story you've seen of the week. So I think I started Blake last time. Lenny, dumbest story that you've seen this week that you go, that's just ridiculous. I can't believe that's out.
Can I just say tariffs?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah.
Tariffs.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'll narrow it down. Why is he picking on poor Lesotho? Little tiny country in the middle, surrounded by South Africa, and they've got the highest tariff rate there is at 50%.
Did you see the sheet that was put out by the White House?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That had the tariffs that we pay
Right.
on those
I'm pulling it
countries.
up.
Yeah, there was a formula.
And none of those, at no point in time, are we over tariffing what they are tariffing us. In fact, Trump actually sold it magically, in my opinion, right? As a salesman, this is the U.S. discounted tariff rate against country. I thought that whoever came up with that
Everybody
language,
likes a sale.
I love that. So I was like, that's just so cool. But yeah, they're all of these countries have been hitting us for forever. And we've been putting up with it. Every single president in my lifetime has put up with it. And finally, got a guy that says, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, and Lenny, I got a question for you. So, say what's the country you said?
Lesotho.
Lesotho. Okay, you're Lesotho.
Okay.
I'm selling you a basketball for $10, and you're selling it back to me for $120.
Boy, am I good.
Okay. I think I need to make a change in my business plan.
I would.
All right? And that's what's happening.
Except, I mean, on the world scale, Lesotho is, I think their entire GDP is $200 million or something like that.
Which is why they'll cave quickly.
Okay,
Right,
and that's
well, again,
that's the point.
I mean,
if
he's a
you
bully.
haven't, I can tell you this, and Mike knows this. I read Art of the Deal in the late 90s, and I love that book. If you haven't read Art of the Deal, he is doing what's in that book right now as a business, and now everybody's head's blowing up.
strong-arming people?
And
Yes.
Okay.
When you're in a position of power, you use the power to move yourself forward. And
how many bankruptcies?
Lesotho's
How many bankruptcies did Trump file after releasing the book, though?
3. But and the only one that really ticked me off was Atlantic City because he didn't pay everybody. Everybody else he paid. That was the only one that really pissed me
But
off.
I have a serious question.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say the tariffs work and boatloads of money, tankers load of money are rolling into the United States Treasury.
Yeah.
How does that affect the individual American taxpayer as opposed to this going to the deficit?
That is a brilliant question.
It should go
and
to
I'm
the
going to
deficit.
answer it for you.
Please.
It is going to lower the debt,
Correct.
which is going to allow us to lower interest rates, lower costs,
Right,
everything gets
right.
better. And if people begin to say, hey, we want to start buying American products, there's a resurgence in the American economy where all of a sudden we're doing manufacturing back here again. People have good jobs. The Republicans and Democrats decimated the manufacturing sector of this country in the 80s and 90s. Both parties did it. And it led to entire areas of the Midwest voting Republican because they were so pissed off about it. So I think it's great. It's going to take a little bit of time to sort itself out. In the construction industry, it's going to hurt us a little bit because of certain things. But let's get it straightened out. Let's get manufacturing back. Mike Waltz, when I talked to him years ago, pointed out there's 60-some products that go into making a bomb. The United States has military bombs, right, that we get from countries overseas.
Yeah.
That is not a sustainable function.
It just doesn't
Every
make
bit of
sense.
that productivity should be in the United States, and we should never have outsourced to where we did. So it's going to take a little while to straighten that back out. But manufacturing construction in the United States has been going through the roof since COVID. Because everybody looked at their supply chains and said, we got to get manufacturing back in the United States, every single company.
And Lenny, I'll agree with you on the tariffs. One thing, I don't like big changes all at once. And this is a big change all at once. And there's a, we're ripped off the Band-Aid, but we didn't know how bad the wound is underneath it.
It's still bleeding, right?
So, well, we don't know if it's bleeding yet.
Well,
It's been a day.
Right.
Okay, so, we don't even know if it's bleeding. I mean, the stock market, I think, was down 4 or 5% today. I don't think it was like, oh my gosh, Black Tuesday or whatever it was.
Right.
So, we don't know what the ramifications of this is, but something had to change. If you're doing the business model like you and I just said, and we did that with every single country, who's losing? The U.S. And I want to protect the U.S. before I want to protect Italy or before I want to protect France.
Sure.
So, I mean, if we pissed off the people in France at our own expense, okay.
Look, years ago, I had what apparently is a naive solution to healthcare.
I haven't even heard it, and yes, it was.
And it is, healthcare and manufacturing in the United States. Scholarship for people going to medical school in exchange for a required amount of time working in public health clinics, which can be scattered around the country in places that don't have access to medical care. Yet those clinics need to be built with all-American products, all-American autoclaves, all-American stainless steel tables. You reinvigorate American manufacturing because you've created a demand for products that must be made in the United States. You've got doctors that now are forced to work, well, forced is probably an ugly word, but are paying back their scholarships.
Such a progressive word.
they're
It's such a progressive word.
Thank you very much.
They're encouraged to go into that
They're
field.
chained to the damn operating room.
Such a progressive policy.
But, you get medical care in places that don't have medical care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got manufacturing to support that. You've got construction to build the clinics. I still can't figure out what the fly in that ointment is, and I'm sure somebody will explain
Well, the
it
fly
to
in the
me.
ointment is just like it is with student loans. People don't pay them back. They buy themselves into that. They don't finish the commitment. They go 2 years, never finish, never get to the point where they can actually help someone, and now all that money is thrown out the window. And that's where the follow through. I love the idea, and I wish people would stick to the follow through. If we could get a high enough percentage to finish and qualify, I think the idea would work great. But the problem is, I think 70% of people that go into medical school alone in the private without that drop out.
Okay.
So what do you do with that money you just spent on them that drop out?
That's because playing golf on Wednesdays is no longer a doctor's purview any longer. It's not. People went into medicine A because it was sexy, and B because they could make an awful lot of money. Doctors aren't making an awful lot of money these days.
Nobody went into medicine to help people.
A couple people probably did. Albert Schweitzer, maybe. Jonas Salk, possibly.
Suddenly, I just feel like Lenny just was so jaded in that description of doctors.
It's so
They don't
sexy
love
to
people. They didn't go to help
disinfect
them.
someone.
They just did it for the money and golf on Wednesdays.
Well, country
I can tell you,
country
ER
club dues
doctors
were
are having-
expensive back in the 70s.
ER doctors are having to disimpact constipated humans all the time. That ain't sexy.
Wait a second.
And
Doctors or they're nurses?
doctors have to participate in the disinfaction.
Hey, get that out.
Nurse? Right, exactly. Exactly.
All right, Troy Glovin's craziest story of the week.
Craziest story of the week. I'm going to go with the tariffs too, because I think, and for a different reason, is how angry everyone is about it before something's actually happened. And if you look at the numbers and you said, okay, this is my business. Take the United States, look at those numbers. This is even the way it is right now, you're like, wait, that still isn't fair. But there's a formula that they have in place. At least they have a rationale and a percentage and with their GDP and what their imports to exports are. And it makes sense to me. And this is a negotiating point. Tell you what, if you're Canada, read Art of the Deal, you might have a chance of getting a better deal if you understand what the man's doing. Because the playbook is there. The playbook is there. He's not doing anything he didn't do in the 1990s.
But it hasn't been translated into Canadian. If they didn't translate into Canadian, they can't read it.
Just like the dollar, it's about 70%.
Okay, got it.
But I think
Well,
Canada
I
just got
heard
excluded.
Ford announced that if we remove tariffs, they'll remove tariffs. like they're totally willing to remove tariffs, and people are like, well, why didn't you? And he's like, we're talking about it. It's like, you don't have to
Who
talk
is
about
this
it.
that said this?
Ford, the new PM, isn't he?
I,
the
didn't-
one
I
that-
don't, I don't think his name is Ford,
No.
but there is a new Canadian PM.
Mark Carney.
Okay.
Mark.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking Henry.
I think Ford was the guy from Toronto.
No, I'm talking. I
Yes,
think it's
there is.
Bob
and,
Ford.
his brother.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
I think it's
Right.
he's dead,
dead.
isn't he? It's Bob Ford.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who, the cocaine mayor?
He's dead.
Okay.
He's dead.
Marion Barry's back?
No.
Again.
Oh, there's a joke from the
Again.
past
Yeah,
for you
go. Thank
guys.
very
There
much.
you go.
Bum, bum, right.
Yes.
Oh, that was just a low crack.
That's it.
The guy that looks like a SNL character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Looked like Chris Farley.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Blake, craziest story of the week.
Craziest story of the week is the Atlanta Braves. What's going on?
I knew.
What's
I
going
knew
on?
one of you was-
I'm so glad I didn't take that bet.
0-7.
So glad I
Oh,
didn't take that.
my
We may be
God.
3-3, but okay.
okay.
Oh, no. Hold on. I want your... Give me your thoughts about Raisel Iglesias. We had to...
The relief pitcher.
we
You got him from the Reds. We were so happy he's gone, and I feel horrible that he went. I count the Braves as my second favorite team. But come on, get rid of that dude.
So I'm going to go on a limb right now. Okay. Your team is the Reds.
Yes.
We've got the Braves. We are off to a horrible start. I really don't care about a horrible start. I care about how well we finish. I think the Braves are going to finish well. So I will bet you right now the Braves go farther in the playoffs than the Reds do.
Mm.
While we're
don't know.
betting his lunch,
I don't think
it's
either.
a safe
I
bet.
don't think
It's
either
one
team's making
lunch.
the playoffs.
You can even make homemade peanut butter and jelly sandwiches if you lose.
Fluff and
I
others.
still have fluff.
I tell
No
you
problem.
what. I tell you what. Until Olsen finds his swing,
Yes.
you guys are in trouble
Okay.
because you don't have Acuna back yet,
Yep.
and Albies can't do it all himself,
Mhm.
and Olsen's hitting like 0-0-0 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So until you got to have at least two guys that can score runs. The Reds are like Jekyll and Hyde. We scored 14 the day before and scored 0 when their ace pitches.
I know how that works.
Ace loses 1-0.
Wait a minute, you can win baseball games this year?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
We've won 2.
I didn't know.
We're way out in front by 2.
Well, I think we get the Marlins this weekend at home. So that's a little bit of some help there.
That's
as
better
the
than the
Marlins.
Dodgers.
Yeah, it's much better.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah,
you start with two really strong teams in the Padres and the Dodgers. And they're playing really well to start the season off.
Dodgers
So, yeah.
are undefeated.
But are you
So are
taking the bet or
Padres.
not?
I'll take the bet.
Okay, we got
So
the
they
bet.
finished with a better record because I don't think either one's making the playoffs.
Well, if they don't make the playoffs, better record is the key.
Okay. All
So
right.
that's our metrics. You're out of this bet. I'm
Yeah.
moving on to a new generation of
Yeah.
abusing
Well,
Blevins
we're
and
still
lunches.
we're still on.
Oh, we
head-to-head
still got-
se-
yeah, oh,
we're still
yeah.
on head-to-head series.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm already down like 72 lunches. So I mean, I think I got it down to 6.
Boy, you're gonna need a lot of coloring books, Mike.
Barbara Jean just said that Elon Musk has agreed to appear on the Gutfeld show, which I love Gutfeld, so that'll be a fun show to watch.
Gutfeld, but not the Daily Show, huh? Yeah.
The Daily Show's
Oh yeah,
still on?
Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bobby, and did you see the captain on the boat that got on the kids' boat?
Wait, I haven't got to answer my question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'll bring it.
Bobby brought that one up. So.
Yeah.
So
That's my story.
That's your
That's my
answer.
story.
All right, sorry. sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to.
Y'all
Hey,
got
you
off on a
already had
tangent
your
with sports
story.
ball.
Quit
I didn't mean
story
to-
stealing.
I
Quit
didn't mean-
story
I
stealing.
didn't mean to encroach. but,
Quit story stealing. Go ahead, Amanda.
My dumb story is the stupid jackass captain that actually jumped onto a miner's boat, berating him and threatening him. And this dude should lose his captain's license. He claimed he's an Army Ranger. Guess what? The internet did its thing. He rode a desk when he served in the Army. He was not a Ranger.
War hero is what he called himself.
Such a jerk.
Is he related to John Kerry?
Yeah.
Just asking.
I
Well,
thought J.D.
he-
Vance.
John Kerry really did get it. He really was on those boats.
Right, and it was very swift.
Yeah.
So was his loss.
So Captain Horner has an extensive arrest record. So I absolutely believe he was willing to carry through on the threats against this kid.
Did you watch the whole video?
I watched the whole video.
Because I was like, I only saw a little bit of it this morning. I watched more of it after the
Is
show.
this a local story that happened here?
It's a Florida story.
It's in
Florida story,
I
okay.
think it's in Stewart. But the kid, I thought the kid really was just being a little jerk, and this guy put him in his place, and then he went overboard. But the kid from the get-go was like, hey, that wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I had my light. He was mad at him about not having his lights on, but he cut off, and this captain cut off a kid who didn't have his lights on the boat early in the morning and just starts screaming at him. And then he gets on the kid's boat. The other guys in the boat with him are mortified. They're like, get back in the boat, and this guy, he's supposed to be a grown ass man picking on a teenage kid. And he got the kid to say sorry and just, okay, don't do that again. You just gotta, back it down.
There's no need. There was another story similar to this. An elderly woman saw two youths fishing in front of her house, near her house. So she went out with a gun and threatened to shoot them if they didn't get off her property. So the kids were scared to death. The cops eventually showed up. The woman had a BB gun. Thank God it wasn't a real gun. Right? She still could have shot somebody's eye out. And then,
especially if it's a Red Ryder.
Especially if it was a Red Ryder. And the kids, it turns out, were on community property, not on her property. So guess who now is in a lot of trouble?
Hopefully her.
Yeah. Yes, 100% her. She's in a lot of trouble. That's not my stupid story of the week, though. My stupid story of the week is the Democrats getting really excited about how close they were in these two Florida special elections. So they pumped millions of dollars into a race, $6 million to lose a race in Florida 1. They pumped in a lot of money against Randy Fine, who I don't think was a great candidate and at all.
Not compared to who you replaced.
No, Walsh was phenomenal. Walsh was an amazing guy that we had when we had him as a representative. And so they pumped money in both these. It's impossible to pump that much money into all of the districts that will be contested in 2 years. And to think that they aren't going to have to spend gobs of money defending some districts where Trump won. So when they say this, they're trying to kind of pump their base up, but this was not a win. It wasn't a big thing. In Wisconsin, you go, well, the Supreme Court went to the liberals. Great. But at the same time, Wisconsinites showed up and said, we want voter ID. 100%. And you're like, well, that really doesn't jive. So apparently they liked the one candidate over the other, local politics. I don't know a thing about either candidate. Maybe one of them was more appealing. I've
heard from someone in Wisconsin, and they said that 100% this judicial election was decided on the abortion issue, and that if Republicans showed up in special elections and midterm elections, then that candidate would have had a chance. But 2, it was months and months and months of he wants to end all abortions, even including the R word and incest, and there was just no effective messaging on that. So people showed up to vote to protect abortions and protect voter ID.
It was more about the subject instead of the actual person.
It wasn't about the candidates. It was about that particular one issue.
I didn't know, and right, I didn't care. I'm not in Wisconsin. We're good down here in Florida. So if you Wisconsinites can't figure out how to take care of your own selves, not my job to go up there.
Just keep making good cheese, though.
That Tillamook is pretty good.
Oh, we like the cheese.
That Tillamook's pretty good. Tillamook, whatever that is.
Is that from Oregon?
Yes.
Okay.
Late news: Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are 5-2 so far.
Yeah. Hey, I'm anti-gun.
There's no
I'm actually really not.
Oregon.
And now we're shadow banned.
Thanks, Lenny. Thanks. Appreciate
That's why
that.
I said R word.
So good, Lenny.
I've been asking for months to give me a list of words I can't say, and nobody's provided that
We
for
give
me.
them to you, and you ignore the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like Mike when we talk to a politician.
Gosh. Lenny, stop that.
I've never seen that list.
I'm watching.
Lenny.
Right now, our viewers are dropping faster than the stock market, thanks to you, Lenny.
Actually, we went up 3.
You're welcome.
All right.
Lenny, did you hear how much Lesotho is tariffing our goods?
I don't know. We're charging them 50%. What are they charging us?
So it has to be over 100.
And by
It's
the way, how much
99%.
and how much do we buy from them?
They're tariffing our goods 99%,
Okay.
and we're tariffing theirs 50%.
And how much do we buy from them?
Way more than they buy from us.
Yes.
Now?
I can tell you right now.
No.
I promise you, it's way more.
We
Everybody
are the
who's on that
consumer
list is
economy
like,
in
we
the
spend
world.
that much there, and they're spending this much here. I mean, we're talking like 120 bazillion to
Dollars, right?
Yeah, to 6.
Yeah.
I mean, they
have no real economy. And they're not gonna now.
The scale is so out of scale, and it's for the exact same. I mean, we're just tariffing them. You charge us this for yours, we'll charge you half of this for yours. And they're blowing up. Their head's blowing up about it.
So the other great story was this week was Jon Stewart getting red pill. Jon Stewart was with Ezra Klein. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the week, but I want to get some of your comments. $42 billion for broadband for rural areas. And Ezra Klein did some research on the 56 entities that applied for it, right, across the country, and the 14-step process that the Biden administration came up with. Jon Stewart started pulling his hair out at step 5. And then it just got worse and worse. And when he got to 14, he's like, okay, so how many entities were left? I think there was only like 5 or 10 entities left. Most of them had given up. And then he said, okay, so now they can install rural broadband. No, now they had to give a plan of how they were. He said, what did they do the 14 steps for if they didn't have a plan? I mean, it was a classic example of, we're going to promise you something as a government, but we really don't want to deliver it to you as a government. They didn't want to do broadband out there. They just wanted to have say they'd come up with this.
Right.
That's it. They had no intention of it, because if you want to deliver something like that, you call Elon Musk and you get Starlink set up and you're good to go.
Yeah, in 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes. So, and it doesn't take $42 billion with a B. So, B, Blake Blevins.
B.
B, and B. All right. The other one, they're just kind of a curiosity. Chief Justice John Roberts is part of an elitist club of judges and lawyers. It includes people from both sides of the spectrum. Should judges be in these elitist legal clubs? We're not allowed in the club. We're not jurists. We're not judges. We're not allowed to do that. Should these judges have a place where they can go talk to other judges that are rather private and exclusive and elite?
And let their proverbial hair down and speak off the record?
By the way, I call him JR. So just, you know. So
Who shot him?
Oh.
It was
You can't say things like that.
fake
You gotta give
So I'm
him a
gonna
list.
Another word. Another word you can't use. Another word you
I'm
can't.
putting both of you to a timeout if you take this out. Yes,
That's funny.
yes.
It's because I'm on this side of the room.
Yeah.
Way to go,
You
Winnie.
just keep feeding me the softballs. I gotta swing at them.
No, I don't see this any different than, you know, us being in Rotary. So I don't have a problem with him being in these clubs.
Okay.
I mean, it's a club of his peers. So
Well, what defines it as elitist? Exclusive, I would accept.
Yeah,
but what makes it
well, the
elitist?
Kiwanis,
I can
the
tell you,
Kiwanis
Rotary's
call
not
us,
elitist because Troy and I are both in
yeah,
it.
Kiwanis call us elitists, and we know we're not.
Well, that's because you just keep going around in a circle, obviously.
Yeah, Rotary. We do the four-way
All right.
four-way
Oh,
test.
okay.
Four-way test while going in a circle.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Four-way circle while. So yeah, I just curious. Blake, any comments?
No comment.
No comment at all. You're leaving that one alone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you care?
no.
Okay. All right.
I don't think you can ban people socializing. And if that's what they're doing, then I don't think you can really ban that because their job.
Unless, I mean, for the most part, I don't really see an issue with it. But because judges talk with other judges, unless it's during an ongoing case and they can't talk about it. But if it's just like look off work, just conversations
You
with
know
other
what they
judges.
talk about? Hey, did you see the Lakers game?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
don't think Jackson Brown talks about the Lakers game. I think Supreme Court Justice Jackson Brown is like Amanda. Sports ball.
Jackson Brown's a
Is
singer.
it Jackson?
Actually, these,
It's
I'm gonna-
it's Kenita Jackson Brown. I thought was her. Yeah.
can I say
The
this
newest
word?
one.
Ketanji
Can I
Brown
say-
Jackson.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Can I say
Jackson
thespian?
Brown. Yep, I got it wrong.
Thespian?
Thespian. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Brown Jackson.
Because she's a
sorry.
thespian.
Yeah, she was cast in something recently,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
Yeah,
On
she was
Broadway.
Yeah.
So,
or actually no, off Broadway.
Way off.
so we're all in those clubs. I'm in several groups with contractors, and I sit and talk to them all the time. And we have dinner together, and we go
Like a
on to
trade
events together.
association.
Yeah, trade
Yeah.
association.
So it's
Same
a
thing.
judges guild.
Yes.
No, I don't have a problem with it at all, and I don't think we should be that involved. I mean, they
Yeah.
got to have their own life.
No.
Yeah.
But definitely will say the big thing that involves the Supreme Court and other judges is like their outside influence. Like we've seen the stories of Harlan Crow, the billionaire, and Clarence Thomas, and Crow taking Thomas on like multiple vacations, including paying off an RV. So
And it's Winnebago.
yeah. So that stuff
I'm more concerned of who's talking to foreign leaders and stuff like
Do you
that.
know how many people think that I am unduly influenced by these 17 lunches that Troy owes me?
It hasn't worked yet.
That hasn't worked yet.
You keep buying soup.
Caesar salads over here.
Well, whenever you take me to the gate station for lunch, there's not a lot of options. Just
Roller
say
food-
it.
roller
food is
roller food
food.
counts.
Yes, roller food counts.
Depending on which one, you can get a frozen yogurt afterwards.
Yes.
Ooh,
All right, you guys want to do some
horrible.
trivia?
Would love it.
Fine.
You want to do some
Who won
trivia?
last week?
I think.
I feel like there was an official ass beating. No.
It was
I can
Amanda.
safely say
You
it's
did.
I walked away
it was
with
not
the
me.
You did.
I walked 2 weeks ago. It was her. I walked. I finally win one.
All right, everybody on
Yeah,
there. If
you
you
did
guys
win
are
last
playing at home, give me just give your answers in. If I missed one, let me know I missed one of your answers. I'll do my best to keep up because there's a lot going on here. All right, we're gonna start in space.
Final frontier.
Astronaut Butch Wilmore watched one thing every week while he was trapped in space for an extra 6 months. I think he was there for 9 months. So what did he watch every week?
I refuse to go first because I know the answer.
That's not the way it works.
You have to go for it. Go for it. Go for
You
it.
should have never said. You should have just. You should have told
Because
us you know the answer.
the answer's so obvious that if I
It's
give
not-
that answer,
Now
then it'll be obvious when I give it. It's church services.
I'm gonna go with church services.
I think he was paying attention to a lot of church services. Absolutely. I'm thinking we.
It was
First
so-
of all,
I
I
can't believe
can't.
It was so
I'm sorry,
non
it was just-
sequitur.
it
It
just made
was so
sense.
non sequitur. They totally would have gotten it.
I
Praise
can't
be.
believe that Lenny actually went along with the obvious answer. It's the first time there's been an obvious answer
We
in
gotta
the
work on
room.
your
It's the
poker-
first time we
Yeah.
gave it to him and he took it.
Right. So this is how
you
you.
gotta work on your poker face.
If
a little
I
bit.
say a church service to that question, you're gonna know I know it.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we wouldn't until you gave it away. You
Wait,
guys
wait,
sold-
hold on,
I
hold
mean,
on,
you guys
hold on,
sold
hold on,
Star
hold on.
Blake,
Trek
show her
or
how to do
Seinfeld.
it.
Hold on,
Show her
here.
how to give the fake
No,
answer.
no. I'm not going to give out a
Yeah.
fake answer,
Yeah,
but
Blake
no,
has a fake answer.
hold on. Do we know the denomination though?
No, I don't know that.
Oh,
No.
dang it. That
It was a
doesn't.
20.
Yeah.
It was a $20 bill.
No, it
Baptist.
wasn't. Blake usually goes, I don't know. And Blake, the more Blake stutters and stammers, the more I know Blake knows the answer, right?
Yes, I'm
Amanda's
trying
just
to-
like, I know the
It's
answer.
just so obvious if I give
oversells
that
it.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could have thrown out Oz. It's I know he liked Seinfeld. and, you know,
Bobby had the most accurate, funny answer, though. Lost in Space rerun.
That's what I was going to say.
I see
That was what I was going to go with if I didn't have the right answer handed to me.
I was leaning
The
toward
proverbial silver
a
platter, thank you.
Dateline.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
hope this is not the next question, but he had very nice things to say about the thing that stranded him up there.
All right, Troy Blevins, last week, the county commission had to vote on fixing the pier.
Mhm.
What was the contract amount for fixing the pier? I believe it probably was constructed right before you came to Parks and Rec.
It was constructed in the mid '80s,
Yep. So how much?
and they're just doing some pilings.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say it was 2.8 million.
Okay.
I'll go 2.9. Well, I'm sticking with him. Hey, I'm trying a new strategy. I might want to get some points this week.
Blake.
2.4 million.
Look at that smile.
Say 2.4 million.
Did you see the answer on the paper?
There's another explanation. There's another explanation. It was one of Pete's show prep items that he didn't do.
Show prep, it was
Okay.
2.4 million.
Yeah, but did they include the consulting?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
In your defense, you asked for how much the contract was.
Yes, I did
Was-
The
ask.
whole project was 2.8.
Was this a part of the 5-year comprehensive plan?
Well, I just want to know. I mean, do you remember what the cost for the original? I think it was $1 million for the original pier. Now
Yeah.
we're fixing 8 pilings or 10 pilings at
Yeah,
the
it's-
end.
I think it's a total of 16, but I mean it's they come in pairs going out. And I think it's the last 8, but I think the entire project, along with consulting and everything else, comes out closer to 2.8. But that's and it's coming out of like category
8.
8. It's all they're
8.
doing.
It's all it's 8. Yep. Perform jacking on pilings 9, jacketing on pilings 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, which are the end pilings.
So they're
Well,
not, they're
I
not
can tell you-
replacing them then.
In
They're
2000,
jacketing them.
Yes.
in 2010 or 9, we did a thing on the spalling.
Spalling, that's
The
correct.
spalling.
It's a technical term in construction.
Yeah, you know, I want to
Not
say
like Spalding.
that's what I want to
That's not
say.
like Spalding from.
That's a bull, Amanda.
where the,
Blake and I are ahead, so you guys keep talking
where
about
the,
the
re,
pier. That's
where the
fine.
rebar, where the rebar
I want
comes
to
out.
be Amanda, so
And
not like that.
That's from 15 years ago, where the
Yeah.
rebar was coming through those pilings, and you know we're very fortunate it never really took a big hit.
All right. We got 2 questions here. One, we're going to go around twice. and then we're going to go around twice on the second one. So let's do most expensive first. So these are the most expensive countries to visit in 2025 based on your average cost per day while being in the country for food and lodging and transportation and all those things. So there's a number one on both. If you hit that, you get 2 points. I'm not going to tell you got the number one, so more than one person might get it. All right, so the most expensive countries to visit in the world in 2025. Lenny, start.
Switzerland.
Okay, you got Switzerland.
United Arab Emirates.
The UAE.
Ski indoors. Okay.
I'll say it's a tiny country. Luxembourg.
Epcot.
Did you narrow it down to a country?
No, it's
20,
Now that you
25
mention
more.
it,
I've covered
It
like
is-
20 of them, and
it
believe me,
is.
it's the most expensive, even if we throw it in that list.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right, you went with Switzerland, Luxembourg. I like both of those. I think United Emirates gets a bad name. It's tough to get there, but I'm gonna go with. Shoot, I like
It's just any country. At this point, any country.
Does the
Joe.
Vatican City count? No.
Yeah, sure it
No,
does.
no, I'm not
And
going.
I'd
I'm
love
not
to
going
see
with
it, what
that. I'm
their
gonna go with
tariff are
France.
gonna
It's
be.
easy to
I'm
get
gonna
in.
go with France.
France.
France is
All right, Lenny, second pick.
Monaco.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with most expensive country. I'm gonna say Japan.
Oh, that was my
That's
next
where I
one.
was going. I was going
That's a
to
good one.
Yeah.
Amanda, the number one country is still open, by the way.
Ooh.
Okay. So we
They get a
haven't
third
said it.
pick?
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna say Australia. It's hard to get there.
All right. And I like that. Do we count the United States?
I said country.
So
I said country.
Visitors from anywhere
The
in the world.
question is country.
So I'm going to go with the United States.
Okay. All right. So here they are working to the most expensive. Qatar, Puerto Rico. I can't pronounce
That's
that
in
one.
the United States.
That's not one you picked.
It's the United
Oman,
States.
Bahamas, UAE for Blake,
Go, baby.
All right.
Greenland. You all missed Greenland.
No
Probably
wonder why
tough
Trump
fight.
wants it.
Micronesia. Nobody got that. U.S. Troy Blevins.
Okay.
Switzerland. Who had Switzerland?
Me.
Lenny.
had Switzerland. Grenada, the Maldives, St. Kitts and Nevis,
that makes
Antigua and Barbados, and Bermuda. I'm sorry, Bermuda?
Bermuda?
Yeah.
Barbuda.
Barbuda.
Barbuda. And then Barbados is the most expensive at $330 per day.
Interesting.
Obviously, they have not heard of
Damn
Epcot because you
sandals.
can sure
Epcot,
pass
you
on
were not
that.
getting that Epcot.
I mean, if Epcot was its own country, I think
I can tell you,
Epcot.
Epcot.
All right.
The damn sandals.
So now we're gonna do. Bozart had the Vatican. Barbara Jean had Hawaii. Barbara Jean, we love you.
It's not,
We love you, Barbara
no
Jean.
longer a country.
So cheapest places in the world
Cheap.
to go visit.
We're
Cheapest
starting
places.
with Blake.
Blake
Yep.
starts.
Now, excuse me, are we including airfare or just when you get there?
This is
It's everything.
it's the whole accommodations, food expenses, transport costs within the country,
Within the country.
expenditures
country.
and tourist
Right, all right,
activities.
so not travel
Right.
too.
Yeah, correct.
All right. Hungary.
Hungary for Blake. All right, Amanda.
Pretty good guess. I'll say Czech Republic.
Check.
I'm gonna go with Thailand.
Thailand. Got it. I got you.
Vietnam.
Hangover. That's where I was. That was the other one.
Vietnam.
Into Wingland if you did Thailand.
Don't play Born in the USA there.
Uh,
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say China.
China. Amanda.
I'll go more local and say Mexico.
It's not expensive. I'll go Philippines.
Lenny.
Colombia.
Colombia. All right. I should have kind of prefaced this like think of countries you would never want to go to. Okay, that's how I should have prefaced this. So
So none of us got it.
so Nepal,
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to go there.
That's close
Yeah.
to Thailand.
Yeah.
Malawi,
Malawi.
India, Moldova, Cuba. Boy, that's a hot ticket. Burma, Mali, Georgia. I don't want to go see a civil war. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, thank you. Armenia, Mongolia, Ghana, Rwanda, Kazakhstan. I hear it's beautiful in the summer. And Laos.
My
Hot
wife.
spots. Everyone.
So we're all around it.
Yes.
You-
we're surrounded.
Yes. Now, Amanda, what Laos is how much per day?
Laos.
Yeah, what does it cost you per day
So
for
that's the cheapest
accommodations, food, transportation costs, and expenditures for tourism?
Cheapest one per day, right?
Yep, cheapest one per day. What is the amount?
$6.90.
Wow.
Wow.
Way to work that in there.
Okay, you got that one.
Troy,
I'm going to go $29.
Lenny,
I'll go 25.
I'll
Blake?
go 29 and 1 cent.
29.01. The actual answer was 15, making Amanda the closest one.
Oh, wait.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. What'd you say?
I said 25, I guess.
Oh, yeah, she is.
So it's 6.9.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So Amanda and Blake are still in the lead. Andy, South Sudan, Bobby, Phil. Yeah, you guys
Well,
had
if you
some.
guys hadn't cheated me on the church thing.
Okay.
It was right on the tip of your tongue. He gave us all those points.
I still think Moldova is just something that they made up for the comic books.
Yes.
I thought it was Princess Diaries.
All right,
Wasn't
who's
it?
up? Troy's up.
I think so.
Same thing.
Let's see.
Yeah,
So, Troy, what percentage of airline passengers today think if a fellow passenger has smelly farts, that fellow passenger should be removed from the plane? What percentage? I know what the percentage is in this room.
Let me think of the people that were around me. I'm going to say 69%.
That's my answer.
35.
Lenny at 35. Blake?
He shipped his pants.
54%.
54. Amanda?
He who smelt it felt
69%.
69. The actual answer, surprisingly, is only 23%.
Okay.
Which tells me there's a lot of people with
No, it
smelly
could be,
farts on
that
planes.
could be the next guy. Believe me, we had Taco Libre today.
So Lenny picks up a point, and now we got Lenny, Blake, and Amanda tied with 3.
But
I
bullshit.
won by so much last week. I just
All right, Lenny,
Yes, sir.
what was the name of Sonny Crockett's alligator in Miami Vice?
Elvis.
Elvis is your answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Elvis?
Elvis.
Go with it.
it's Elvis.
He was so confident.
I love that show.
Wait. Ask these two where he lived.
He was in Miami.
Where did Sonny keep him?
Oh, I don't know.
Coral Gables.
On the boat.
Yep.
He lived on the boat with him.
I figured if I got past you, I had a shot.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what a big fan Lenny was.
Actually, Lenny was
Yes.
mad at me. We didn't bring up Miami Vice.
Yeah.
On the TV
on
show?
the
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show thing
Yes.
last week.
I love that show.
All right.
Best soundtracks
Oh, yeah.
of all time.
And
Oh,
guest stars.
awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Best
And
use of
And
stubble.
Elvis was a great actor. He got snubbed at the Emmys.
according to CNN, this week, what is the approval rating for the Democrat Party?
CNN.
CNN, what is the approval rating?
37%.
This is CNN.
CNN, 37%. Amanda?
I'll say 38%.
Troy?
Lenny, I'm going to make you go the other way. I'm going to say 36%.
Oh, you
27%.
The actual answer, and this is just crushing me, because he got one right on a Democrat answer on that thing. 21%. He's the only one that's still watching CNN. He's the only one that watches it.
I watch CNN like it's Howard Stern. I just want to see what
Right.
stupid shit they're
Right.
going to say next.
And they are getting dumber by the day.
Yeah.
So right now, it's Lenny 5, Blake 4, Amanda 4, Troy 3. All right?
Oh, I'm that close? Oh, I
yeah.
might start trying.
So
Don't give up
I
yet.
thought I was way out of it.
the United States has an unsinkable carrier. It's located 1,000 miles south of India. What is the name of the unsinkable carrier that the United States has?
Who's going?
It's you.
It's me.
Unsinkable carrier. Bobby should get this without a problem.
If Bobby should get it, then I'll say it's the North Carolina.
All right. You want the nickname or the official name?
On the official name.
The Roosevelt.
Okay.
Big stick.
The big stick. Honey?
Okay. I'll go with the Abraham Lincoln. That's too old, actually. But
If it's the unsinkable one, then it probably should have been called USS Titanic. But I'm going to say Roosevelt.
All right. So it's an unsinkable carrier. It's the island of Diego Garcia. It's in the Indian Ocean.
Question,
It can't be sunk. It's an island. It's 1,000 miles south of India, and it's east of Africa. And I will tell you, I only know about Diego Garcia because they did a story on the waves there in Surfer back when I was a kid, and the waves were phenomenal.
Wait. According to, I think it's a North Carolina representative,
Yes.
if we get too many people on that island,
It might flip over.
You get on one side, it could flip over.
I think that was a
That's what he
Texas.
said
I
about
think that was Texas.
I thought it was Georgia.
It was a Carolina one.
I'm not sure about that.
How does it count as a carrier?
Did you know the story? One of the representatives
It was
said
Tonga, wasn't it?
Tonga. It was the island of
Guam?
Tonga.
I thought it was Guam.
Guam or Tonga, one. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I thought it was Guam.
It's dubbed the unsinkable aircraft carrier because it's really not an aircraft, but it's an island in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
and we've had it as a base
Sure.
for forever.
Yeah.
So we can put our stealth bombers out there. We can put everything there. We can get from there to Iran and all these places in the Middle East, and we don't have to risk an aircraft carrier getting hit by a missile or something like that.
Gotcha. So it's an airbase.
It's an airbase.
And by the way, why is it not named Molly Brown?
That's Bobby wanted Molly Brown as well.
But
Because of the
There used to be
patriarchy.
a great strip club in Daytona.
but
Somehow I knew that there was going to be something coming up.
Bustling, I bet you're disappointed it wasn't named after Jerry Garcia though.
True.
Yeah.
Was not named after Jerry.
I would like to extend a thank you to the patriarchy today because I got like crazy blocked in and I could not get out of the parking space today. And I asked an older gentleman if he could help, and he just got in and got me out. It took like 16 to 24 remaneuvers to get out, but he got me out. He's like, "You need to get home." I was like, "Yes, sir," and he got me out. Thank you, patriarchy.
He's like, I got you,
Chivalry
girl.
is not dead.
I got you.
You do know Lane's winning, right?
Well,
I don't care.
Stalling.
okay.
Thank you.
All right. So
Every now and
who's
again,
up
he needs
first?
to
Lenny's
win.
up
I think
first.
Lenny's up
All
first.
right, it's 75 days.
Wait.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
think
no.
it's me.
That's you.
Because you.
I gave the answer, and then
Yeah,
you knew
yeah,
the
so
answer.
I think it's me.
At the 75-day mark, at the end of the Palisades fire in California, how many building permits to rebuild have been issued?
I think Lenny's up first.
And after
How
I gave
many
you
building
Elvis,
permits have been issued?
I'm gonna say 394,000.
394,000.
Supposed to be trying.
10,000.
Wait, hold on. So who's issuing them?
The cities
I think I'm closer than him.
that control Palisades. I don't know what the name of the city is, but if you're trying to get a permit to rebuild, it's been 75 days. How many
Is it
permits have been
only in the
issued?
city or in of the
It's-
75?
There's 6,000 homes that were damaged during the fire. So
Oh.
your number is way out there.
Oh, I thought you
All
meant
right.
like all the fires of California.
Yeah.
All right.
Just specific
Palisades fire.
Oh, just
The
Palisades.
fire.
Okay, the
I heard
Palisades.
it's all
All right.
California. My bad.
All right. I have a feeling it might be this. I'm just going to say 0. No building permits haven't been issued.
Dang it. I was going to say 69 for the joke, but I think you're closer. I'll say 6.9.
6.9.
There's only 6,000 houses. I guess I'm.
And I'm over by 4K.
I think that's all in California, but
Yeah.
my bad.
The actual answer is 4. And surprisingly, Amanda's closer to
You squeaked that one out.
That's the second time I squeaked it out with the 69.
Oh, man. All right, Blake.
No.
You're an internet
Actually,
guy.
no, it's Lenny.
It's
Lenny's
Lenny.
first.
It's Lenny first.
Yeah.
Okay, Lenny.
Got the pressure
So
off you,
this
Blake.
week, Doge uncovered that the VA had a contract. They were paying for website modifications. What was the monthly amount that the VA was paying their internet website contractor per month? How much money were they paying for website modifications per month?
$2.5 million.
$1 million.
$1 million. Let's see. You have 2.5 million. You've got 1 million.
Good. You would.
You are tied for
Oh,
the
two and a
lead,
half.
too. I just
I
want you to know. And
know.
Blake could tie both of you at any second.
I know. I don't want to give it away on the joke. I'll say 2.69 million.
And this is per month.
Per month.
I'm going to have to go 2.691.
So here's the thing that's striking about this. I read the actual number and I was appalled. I was like, that's way too much money to pay for website modifications on a monthly basis, right?
I mean, you don't have to keep
You
modifying
guys
We blew
have
it up.
zero faith in government. You have zero faith in government. I thought I had no faith in government. I was like,
it. Seriously.
Just like we all knew the church thing.
it doesn't even sound funny now because it was only $380,000.
I still get the point. Hi,
Who's the
hi.
winner?
All right. So, so Bollox night. We're doing music festivals.
Let me see it. I think I got
At
one
least
more.
you know that I'm playing this game legit because,
Straight up.
like, when I straight up knew the answer, no joke, I tried to like avoid the whole thing.
Okay, so a little tiebreaker question here. Which demographic, men or women, is attending church more often right now?
Me.
You. Men or women?
Looking at Mike, looking at Amanda, looking at Mike, looking at Amanda. I'm gonna say women.
The fact that you're asking.
Team feminist.
Okay.
Go
I'll
with the
go.
patriarch.
I know. The patriarchy saved me today, so I'm going with the patriarch.
Yeah, I was
Men.
going to say, it's the second time today the patriarch saved you. I'm going with men.
What's the score
Because
here?
I think it's flipped.
We're all tied for the win except for Troy.
Except
Troy's
for
in
Troy,
last
yes.
place.
Yeah.
You went women, you went men, so either way I'm
Women.
screwed, so
Yeah.
I'll go men.
For the win today, in a tie, Amanda and Lenny, because they got men right. Feminism did not do you well, Blake.
It never does.
So I remind. So here's
Only
the.
you can say that. Right? I was saying
Yes,
it. Only
yes.
you can say it.
This has
Self-hating
only hurt all of
interests
us.
over here.
Here's the joke of the day. Joke of the day. Guy's walking in California on the beach. He's praying. He's in an intimate moment with God, and all of a sudden, God is impressed by how long he has prayed to Him and worshipped Him and done what He wants. So He says, "I'm going to grant you any wish you want." And the man says, "Well, I really like to surf, but I don't like to fly. Can you build a bridge so I can drive to Hawaii?" And God says, "Well, I can do anything, but that's an engineering marvel. I mean, the amount of concrete, the amount of steel, the amount of work. I mean, I can do it, but before I do, is there anything else that you might want?" The guy thinks about it for a second. He says, "Well, yeah, I'd love to understand what women think." And God looks
Here's
at
your
him
bridge.
and says,
You want that 2 lanes,
2 lanes
or
or 4 lanes?
2 lanes or 4?
2 or 4. All right.
I do think it's funny that last week you blew out so hard. And you were the only one not tied for first.
It's a gift. You're welcome.
He's either on or he's not on. All right, so Blake, first Flagler. What's going on at Flagler this weekend in sports?
This weekend we have a baseball series against Claflin Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday we also have a men's lacrosse game on Saturday at noon, but also Saturday as well we have we have the unveiling of the Dave Barnett statue at the athletics field.
I heard
baseball
that the
coach.
statue was a picture of Dave signing his second recruit. Is that true?
It was probably his third recruit.
I think he skipped right over this one.
All right, and Bollox tonight. What do you guys got, Blake?
We're doing music festivals. So, and
I didn't know if you had any right answers today,
No.
so I went to Blake.
no, you should have went to Lenny because he tied. So we're
Lenny's basking in the glow right
Yeah.
now.
I'm
He's
just-
smoking a cigarette over there because he finished.
So, no, we're doing music festivals
Yes.
like Origins and
Yeah.
some of the things, and the ones we want to go to, bucket list type things, and kind of hitting all those.
Andy hit below the belt. He said, "You're the Reds of trivia."
I'm a 500 team.
It's either hot or it's not. There's
At
nothing
least
there.
I'm not the Brave, so I
Yes.
appreciate the compliment.
For those of you that live on the island, Billy Strings 3 nights.
Yes.
So we will have to fight through the traffic for that.
Oh, I have to go on the
Going
island.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Friday, I'm doing Friday and Saturday night, staying in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be cycling over. So
Yep, and I'm going tomorrow and then heading to New York for a wild game dinner.
New York.
They have wild game, and
We imported from Texas.
Yeah. And if you're
they can't tariff you there,
No,
so you're okay.
We're doing
in
New
New
York,
York,
board.
they tariff
Right.
Texas because they still don't recognize them as a state. They still have them as an independent country.
We're flying in some wild boar and Final Four.
The Wild Boar, the Final Four. This is so 15 years ago. My son Ethan was 13, and we used to take our 13-year-olds on just a trip with Darcy and I, and he wanted to go to the Final Four. So we got to see the Duke Belmont Final Four.
Houston?
It was in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And it was the kid from Belmont missed the last second shot off the rim, right? Great game. We overpaid for tickets to be like 40 rows up at midcourt. I'd become friends with a kid on a plane on the way to Indianapolis. His dad worked for West Virginia. So I got the dad's number, and when West Virginia lost, called the dad, and I overpaid for the tickets because I knew I wouldn't be going back and I wouldn't see Duke again in a final. And I got the tickets, and so great game. So Ethan, I called him up there. We had dinner last night. I said, hey, he said, it's the 15th anniversary. I said, you want to come over and watch basketball Saturday night? Just me, you, and Mom? And he's like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
So we got that going on. It should be really fun. Enjoy the weekend. The weather's going to be great. Then it's going to get kind of nasty, I think, on Sunday or Monday.
Yeah. Just be safe. I mean, don't get in a rush. Everything. Traffic's bad everywhere. Don't get in a rush. Don't be a Captain Horner or whatever the hell that guy's name is.
Don't go fishing with Captain Horner.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday with another amazing show. Have fun. Good luck at Bollox tonight.
Thank you.